Well folks, Cam Jones here for the final round of the FB Pros at Lake Glenbourne, and a man who's not shy of finishing in the money, Lukey Draper, here at Glenbourne. Had a pretty impressive bag, full bag of 15, weighed 17.6 kilos, very close to Greg Flett, but managed to see you up there today, mate. But you were just talking about a little bit earlier about the fight. What sort of things were you mixing up over the weekend, where obviously you can hear the noise of cicadas at the moment? A lot of breeze going through. Everyone was complaining about the full moon was going to affect them. What were your thoughts over the weekend?
Yeah, I didn't really know there was much of a topwater bite till last week. I heard the cicadas and I pre-fished and thought Friday give it a go and got a couple of good ones. So yeah, it was just for the first hour or so, just gave it a go, and that's probably got my kicker fish doing that on just a ciglet, and then after that just rolling chatterbaits through the rumble, timber, anything. I don't think there was any consistent pattern for myself. Like yesterday afternoon, fishing wind-blown banks, shallow, but then today, like in the mornings, I was fishing wide at 25 foot, 30 foot. So.
And were you fishing the top of the weed, or were you fishing letting the chatter hit the bottom? What was the sort of...
Yesterday afternoon it was just like throw close to the edge and just burn it out sort of thing. Halfway back to the boat, let it hit the bottom sort of thing. But then both mornings it was pretty well parallel, with the boat sitting out a bit wider and just at either tops of trees or any weed, side of the weed, edges of the weed. I think where the ambush points were, and the thicker it was, the better it fished.
Gotcha. Were you finding good showings of fish, or were you sort of picking off singles or pairs of fish? Did you find the better fish were amongst the schools, or were they sort of singles?
I used the active more to make the right cast, if that makes sense. Instead of looking for the fish, I was making sure I had my lures on top of the tree, or just about to go over the top of the tree or something like that. Instead of looking for the fish, I thought the fish will come to the lure if you put it in the right spot. So I didn't really worry about that. But I think there were probably in smaller groups I thought the better fish were, and then obviously on the edge where they're just roaming around by themselves.
Yeah. And sort of part of the dam, you just sort of mix it up. There was a few guys that fished at the bottom end of the dam. Got a few fish on top water early. Were you fishing all the way through up past the 8 knots?
Yeah, I fished the whole dam, but everything I weighed in come from pretty well like the Narrows or Yellowboy Bay back this way. I went up, I caught a couple of fish up on up in 8 knot zone, but they never really, besides one, everything else seemed to be better down this side, like down the bottom of the dam.
And sort of equipment, mate, were you using bait caster? I you throw a bait caster a little bit this morning?
Yeah.
Bait caster, spin rod, what was the sort of...
bait caster for everything, duff rods, 3 to 5, and I got a 2 to 5 for the chatterbait as well, a little bit lighter tip, so you can really feel it, vibrating, especially in that deeper water. Initially to get it vibrating, it's pretty hard to get. But yeah, everything's bait caster gear, 16 pound, 20 pound leader. Just to stop them, the brutes, absolute brutes.
Well, there you go, guys. As I said, Lukey Draper, second place in the final round. Give the AOY a good nudge too, finishing second for the year.
Yep.
Mate, you're pretty stoked, and come on for next year, mate.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, mate, congratulations. Thanks.
Well done, Luke.
All right, guys, we're here with our winner for the weekend, Greg Flett. That's his cracking bag, 19.6 kilos. I think you look at first session, had 7.5 in the first section, and then hit 6.6 in the last. Obviously the morning bite, not that you had a tough session, but It just seems the morning bite you seem to get those bigger fish. You won big bass for the weekend as well. What was the technique that worked for you, mate?
First session, Saturday morning, was just all top water, mate. I just had a bay I fished halfway up the basin here on the left. It was just for 3 hours, it lasted 3 hours. I think I caught 20 plus fish on top water, and for every one I caught I missed one. So a lot of bites, just constant for 3 hours. Looking all around me, I've done a little video on my phone. It was 6:36, and I had 6.7 kilos in the first 5 fish.
Wow.
And I never got a bite for the first 15 minutes, so in 15 minutes I caught 6.7 kilos.
Was that just a timing thing? They just seemed to come into a bit of a trigger and then just ever lit up?
The cicadas were falling out the trees and the place was lit up.
Unreal.
It was the best surface fishing I've ever experienced at Glenbourne.
Wow,
It
unreal.
was pretty crazy.
Were you fishing in the back of bays, or were you fishing an edge with a weedy edge, or were you just fishing?
I was fishing in like a 300-metre bay with stick timber all through it, and I was actually having more success a bit away from the edge.
Gotcha.
The fish were obviously looking up.
Yeah.
They were waiting for them.
Yeah.
And it was easier to land one out there than trying to fish in a little pocket. And I just found too that they were coming from the deep, eating the shallow one and retreating, and they were missing it a lot.
Yeah,
When I
right.
fished a little bit wider, they were coming straight under and they were eating it better.
Nice.
And it was better for me.
And what sort of surface, mate? What was the
Ciglet.
Ciglet? Didn't really matter what colour. Was it a colour specific?
No, I've lost a few, so it didn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah, I was using a grand ciglet on Friday, so I could throw it on the bait cast, so I could go a bit heavier. I lost the only two I had, so I went back to just a normal ciglet.
Yeah.
And which was good because I can only throw the bait cast 10 or 15 metres, so I was keeping everything nice and short, not doing big silly casts. And it was pretty much, I would just throw it in, let the rings disappear. If I didn't get a bite, I'd just give it a little shake. One more set of rings, if they didn't get eaten, wind it in and go again. Yeah,
So it's just that splash.
9 out of 10 bites were within 2 seconds of it.
Unbelievable.
They were waiting for it. Didn't matter how deep it was.
Did you get any fish that found the timber? Yeah. Couple of blisters.
Yeah, I only lost one lure, but I got bricked about 4 or 5 times and just got my lure back. I was just happy to get it back.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And bottom of the dam, mate? Or mid-dam? Or
all
just in the bottom?
the left-hand side of the basin, mate.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's just sort of, I think it was already shaded, and then the cloud cover gave us that extended period. Yeah, it was pretty crazy, and then it just stopped. Like I counted, I just caught one only 10 minutes before, but then there was like 8 cicadas on top of the water around me, and I fished for another 5 minutes, and not one of them got eaten. That was it. It was all over.
Did you see any mud marlins swimming around your bass?
Yeah. I was just pulling away from them.
Yeah.
I did see one thing that was pretty cool. Was a carp was milling around me lure, and I seen him shoot off, and then a big bass come through. Yeah, it's a bass obviously ruled the carp.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal.
So every time I'd see a carp, I was like watching to see if he would react. It was pretty crazy fishing. I was just wondering if anyone else was getting it as well.
Yeah.
And I knew Rob was in the next bay from me, and he had the same. When I seen him at the rain, we didn't even have to say to other. It was just because the bush between us was just alive with cicadas, so I just knew he was
unbelievable.
Yeah.
What sort of gear were you throwing? You're saying you're throwing a bait cast?
Yeah, 15-pound braid, 14-pound leader.
So
No
grade,
just
hang on.
load up and just 7.6 ratio, just flying.
And was that the big, because you had the big fish today, didn't you?
Yeah. I actually, in the first session too, I went and I upgraded a 1.2 with a 1.48 on the chatterbait off the rock water.
Yeah.
So that actually would have gave me the win. Without that one, I would have been second. Rob would have got me.
Yeah.
But today I got 3 carp, not one bass bite.
Yeah.
It was just my area was just gone.
That moved in and taken it over.
There was no cicadas.
Yeah.
The water dirtied up with the wind last night.
Yeah.
And I just wasn't feeling. I only done it for about 40 minutes.
Yeah.
3 carp. Just went up the back and chatterbaited.
Yeah.
And that's why I got the big
That's a
fishes
big
on
one.
the chatterbait. Yeah.
I think where you were sitting out off that corner, I was just inside you and Lukey Draper.
Yeah. I
There
was
seemed to be a lot of fish in that area.
fishing like 30 to 40 feet. Rock rubble.
Gotcha.
That's what I was getting off.
Just hitting it on the
Yeah,
bottom.
I've just got some rock rubble marked out there,
Yeah.
and I was just like 3 lines,
Yep.
bottom, 3 lines,
Yep.
bottom, just
Nice.
dragging it over the rock.
Excellent. Well, there you go, guys. Absolute killed the weekend. Good to see him up there. He was also
it was awesome.
high place in AOY. We're going to expect to see you next year, mate.
Yeah, for sure, mate.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, love doing these ones. It's good.
Anyone you want to thank, mate? Obviously, I know you've got your Z-Man gear all over you.
TT, Tackle Tactics, they've jumped back on board with me. They used to sponsor me 10 years ago, and they didn't hesitate to jump back on board. So yeah, they're awesome. Good gear and good people.
Yeah. Well, congratulations again, mate.
No worries, man.
Fantastic weekend. Great to see that. But
yeah, thank you.
Cheers,
Well
guys.
done, buddy.
Tim Jones again. The final wrap up for the FB Pros at Glenbourne. Benny Hay, look, absolute stellar week, stellar season for you as well. I just looked through the stats. Obviously, anyone that wants to go onto the Facebook page and check out, Wayne's got all the data there. But 876 points between with Benny Hay. And looking through the rounds, mate, you had a couple of near perfect scores, a 99, 100, 100, like sort of. You're in the top 3 or 5 pretty much every session.
Yeah.
So out of 12 sessions, that's bloody impressive, mate. So what was the, I suppose this year, I'm not saying that you can change motivation, but certainly you had things lined up really well this year. Anything you sort of found was a little bit different this year, things that just zoned in?
Yeah, I after Changi and Rob won the AOY in the first couple of years, and I love these events. I think they're the best, you know, the pros that Wayne runs, just the format of them. I love fishing on the onus, you know, boater only. 3 sessions, you can win a bit of cash in every session type deal. And so because I enjoy them, I did want to win that AOY, and I made a fair effort this year. Because the last few years I only got to fish 3 out of the 4. So it's good if you can fish 4 and drop your worst one. You know what I mean? So no, it was good. I did go after this year, put a lot of effort and thought into it. I didn't pre-fish much for this one, but the first 3 events that pretty much won the AOY for me. I was fishing quite a bit before those, just keeping your finger on the pulse of it all. Yeah.
So obviously the format with, as you say, we fished Glenbourne twice and we fished Sinclair twice.
Yep.
Was there a favourite dam? Was there a favourite comp for the season that just you felt like you got that confident boost?
I think the first one in March was at Sinclair, and it was not really like this, but it was a bit of a junk type bite. Like young Marcus top scored that one. Mm-hmm. I think I finished 3rd overall in that one, and it was chatterbaits, and you know, I actually caught my fish deep cranking to get 3rd. I think Luke Draper was 2nd in that one, and that was a real battle just to get bag limits. I found in that one. The only reason we kind of did well was because we consistent with the limits each session.
Yeah.
And then the next 2, Glenbourne and then back to Sinclair, they were a plastic bite, you know, and that's kind of up my alley. I do like fishing plastics. Yeah. I like fishing all of it.
Yeah.
So it is a good mix. Like his dates he sets, you know, the first one in March is like there's a chance for top water and all this sort of stuff, and then we have a couple of winter rounds that plastics and jerk baits and eye wavers and things like that, and then this finishing round is again back from the start of summer where like fish were caught on everything this weekend. If you get around and talk to people, like there's a lot of top water obviously, but there's a lot of fish caught on chatterbaits and reaction baits as well. So it's a good mix. But those first 3 that done it for me, the first one, like I said, I just sort of scratched up fish on crankbaits and hung in there, but then the next 2 that I had really good results in were I was pretty dialed into that plastic bite, you know, so I'd say that's what you did for me.
So you weren't, I know obviously coming into this round, Graham Ford's local dam.
Yeah.
He was nipping at your heels.
Yeah.
Was there any time during this weekend where you thought, Fordy could get me, or was there a point where you went, I'm pretty safe? Was there?
Well, I hadn't really done the maths until we came up here. I think on Friday night, we were sitting down there, and I went onto the Facebook page, and had a look, and I looked, and Fordy, he almost needed like what I did at Sinclair. He needed 2 wins and a 2nd.
Gotcha.
Yeah, to beat me.
Yeah.
So after the first session yesterday, as soon as he got 4th or 5th in that, I knew, well, I've got it. Yeah, you can't do it then.
So you would have been pretty chuffed, mate, knowing that you had that in the bag and just go and just fish, just have fun.
That's what I did this weekend. Like I said, I hadn't been here since the Oz Open back in September.
Yeah.
And I've been busy with work and doing a bit of river fishing and whatnot as well. But so yeah, I was just happy to come up and enjoy this weekend, and I got my limits each session, and I think I'm 4th or something overall there, but I was still a bit off the pace with the top 2 or 3 guys. it was a bit of a battle for me. I was getting fish easy enough, but just them big ones, I lost a lot of big fish on the first session, and my mind wasn't on the go because I kind of knew there was going to be a lot to. The AOY was supreme for me, you know, like you seem to. You know, with competitiveness, you can only hang on to it for so long, and then you've got to let it go because it's too draining, it's too demanding. Like if you were just out to the top of your game all the time, it runs you down mentally and physically. It kind of runs you down. You know, so this weekend I was just happy to turn up and go fishing, mate.
And even this weekend, obviously, probably a round you didn't really need, but you still did really well, mate. Like finishing fourth place.
Yeah.
What was the sort of what style of fishing were you going with this weekend?
Well, this weekend I caught most of the fish on Saturday was on cicadas in the morning, and I lost a lot of big fish. Like I had 6.5 kilos, but I realistically should have had 7 or better because I did lose. I had one of them mornings where they just stitched me up and snapped me off, and I pulled hooks on a few big ones once I got them out, and then I caught a few big fish that actually upgraded some of my top water fish on the Saturday morning session on TN 60s.
Gotcha.
And on the pre-fish day, I caught them on chatterbaits, TNs and surface. So I just stuck with them 3 baits. And that was the same, every session I did pretty much the same, although yesterday afternoon I caught 2 of my fish on surface. It was pretty tough, it was windy and it wasn't ideal. And the others were on TNs. And this morning I only caught 1 on top water first up. And the sun, the wind, you get 4 seasons in one weekend when you come up here. Like every day the wind's a different direction. And for fishing them cicadas, you kind of got to be in that calm water, but you also need bloody shade. So the water that you're going to catch them in is pretty limited, and you get boats in some of them little areas and spots. And because the wind was more northwest today, that was all the banks that are shaded. The wind was blowing in.
Gotcha.
So it was too joggly and wasn't right. So it was hard to find water for that top water bite this morning. So I gave up on it pretty early, and I thought I'm just going to go and do what I like, and I'm just going to throw TNs. I love search bait fishing. I love casting and winding. It seems pretty simple, but there's a fair bit to it. And I like fishing reaction baits, and you cover water. Like cicadas, you got to fish real slow. Especially, and if you're not in the right area, you can suck up a lot of time. They are good fish when you get them, but there's a lot of area they weren't. That top water bite wasn't everywhere. There's a lot of areas that I found that you couldn't catch them. And obviously, because our comps run through the daylight, you're governed by those bits of shade, and you've got to get it right early. If you waste an hour in the wrong area, you're on the back foot with that top water bite. So you kind of got to land on them. You've got to land in the right spot straight up, catch them on surface, because time's against you. So this morning I just didn't really feel like the hassle of running around trying to find spots where I may get one, because most of the spots you don't get one because they're only little bits of shade, And so I was just happy to just put that down. I love fishing bait casters, mate, too. So put the spin rod down with the cicada, and just start cranking. Just cranking on the bait cast. I can throw a bait cast all day and I enjoy it.
Good stuff. Anyone you want to thank for the year? Obviously,
definitely.
People look after you.
I did catch a few key fish at that last Sinclair one that I did really well on. A couple of my upgrades were on Vex jigs. And Dobbo's a good mate of mine, and I definitely thank Vex. He's always looked after me, and we camp together and bounce off one another a bit. He did real well this weekend too.
He did very well.
Thanks, Dobbo. I've ran the Suzuki outboards for a long time on the other saltwater boats and stuff, and they look after me. And the In-Tune Marine, which is a local outboard boat shop near me, they're a Suzuki dealer. They look after me too. Like they'll get me in, drop the hat, and they'll get me put on the waiting list or anything like that. So if I do have issues, they got me in straight away. So Suzuki and In-Tune, they always look after me. And Nick Price, he's always supported the comps, Nick, and he's a good guy, and I like to just kind of rep him just to try and help him out,
Absolutely.
So I reckon I'd advise anyone go and see Nick if they're coming up to either one of any of these 100 dams, in the rivers for that matter. If they're a bit unsure what the bite might be like at the time of year that they're travelling up here, it's hard to not stop in there at Aberdeen fishing and outdoors and have a chat to Nick, because
He's got everything, hasn't
he
he?
doesn't tell you fibs. Yeah, he's happy to tell you what's going on, and he'll
Yeah.
sell you the lures that you need and tell
Yeah.
you how to catch them. Yeah, so I always like to support Nick. Yeah.
Well, congratulations again, mate.
Thanks, guys.
Hold the trophy up, mate. Look at that. Pretty impressive.
Very good trophy.
AOY for
Thanks for the
2024.
trophy, Changy.
Well done, mate.
Yeah,
Thanks
you
also
too.
to Wayne for running an amazing event.
Yeah.
Anyone that's interested,
Yeah,
make sure you check the Facebook page and get ready for next year. The dates are out.
yeah,
Family Bassin events, great for the families.
yeah.
And obviously the platform also to the FB Pros, which are on 4 times
That's
a year.
right.
So
I definitely
stuff.
recommend the pros to anyone that wants to like step up a little bit. And you often you win your prize money back in one of the sessions, you know. So, and definitely big thanks to Wayne. I
Yeah.
did forget him. Like he does an unreal job with everything. And you guys too contribute a bit. Changy has always played his part in the family bassins and the pros and stuff. So thanks, Changy. And all the fishermen too. Like the reason
bunch of guys.
the reason I do take a lot of pride in winning the AOY is because you're not fishing against slouches. You're fishing against the best guys in these lakes. You know, everyone knows how to catch them.
Yeah.
And I've got a lot of respect for all the boys, and they're not. It's never easy.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. So thanks to all the competitors.
All right, mate. We'll wrap it up.
At them again tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.
Next year.
Cheers, mate.
See ya.